It's the Skeletor Show! Oh, my name's Fox, and I say, name of Fox. Skeletor is my favorite character. Also, like, these are different from the ones I got. I opened these, FYI, like, figure-wise, these are actually really cool. I got these. I got these because I thought, oh yeah, I have like the main cast. I think everyone I have except Man-at-Arms. But yeah, so I already have like the base forms of them. So I'm like, I want to get some that I can open up. So I got like a 2-pack that had like Skeletor and He-Man in it. And also Sorceress with her Eagle, and also this came with the He-Man. But He-Man and Skeletor. But I saw season 3, which is really freaking good. I love this one, which also, where did I put my phone? But yeah, so I'm trying to find my notes I took on it, but I saw season 3. I knew it came out, and stuff happened. Like, even I watched it like a few days ago, honestly, and only till now that I was able to actually get to reviewing it. But season 3 is. But yeah, season 3 is good. Also, I want to look at the trailer, because I looked at the trailer last time for season 2 after I watched season 2 to see how much it spoiled, because it kind of spoils the snake people at the end, but also like the snake people don't become really prevalent until this season. So like,
the universe is always in danger. Bad things happen. Good things happen too.
Because
we have to save Eternia. We can't afford to fail.
Whatever decision you make, He-Man, I trust it will be the right one.
The snakes, honestly, other than we don't get a King Hiss, I like the snakes as a bad guy, and honestly, if they set a game at some point set during this time, it'd be kind of badass, because the snakes actually are really cool. Like, they're kind of it's kind of like a zombie situation where they are very much zombie. Like, they're undead creatures that come back basically born of havoc, which I love, like, what they're doing with Havoc and the power. Even like, the ending, it seems a little bit like, yes, we need to believe in us. If I go watch the season, I love the season too. Like, we need to believe in ourselves, and that will give us the power. I'm like, okay, sure. But also, but I do like stuff like, one, like, I never noticed this, that there's a snake on his belt, and also obviously that the snakes are like intricately connected with Havoc. Like, yeah, one way they even visit the first nest where like the snake people like emerged from Havoc, I guess. And also that Havoc is actually something that King Grayskull added to the castle. And not only that, like, let me see, hold on. Let's see if they show them, actually.
The sigil re-zombifies those...
Yeah, I like the sigil thing. Honestly, that'd be a cool little accessory to have with some characters.
Zombies faster than we can beat them down. If King Grayskull had to use...
Yeah, King Grayskull.
to defeat the snakes. Does that mean we will too?
And here's the thing, too. Like, they already have a toy. I want to get it. Of He-Man with this armor, which I thought, oh, is this the season we're going to see him in it? No. We do see Skeletor in it, when I'm like, I wonder if we're ever going to see him in that suit. But this is a really freaking cool-ass suit, but also, I like how they revived Skeletor. Spoilers. Actually, I think this is gonna sell it, but like, I like how Skeletor gets revived in this, because let me watch this. Also, I'll bring up some notes, but one thing I noticed is his dad has the original He-Man battle. Yeah, technically speaking, it doesn't look like that, but like the original He-Man toy, yeah, it came with the Sword of Power. It came with the Sword of Power though, but the main thing was like he was a barbarian originally, which He was a barbarian kind of character, so he had a shield and the battle axe, which his dad has, which that's a nice little reference.
He embraced havoc.
He did it to save Eternia. Clearly, he felt he had no choice.
There is always a...
Yeah, and also the one thing I actually do like too, another thing, like it shows like that the Sword of Power and the Havoc staff, and so far at least what I'm looking at, both weapons were made by King Grayskull, so it's not really like, oh yeah, one's weaker than the other, or one's the true weapon, one's a false weapon. They're both powerful weapons of their respective alignment, I guess. And I like that, because it's not just like, okay, yeah, the scepter's a terrible version, or something like that. It's like, no. Also, I find it really funny that they go, ah, yes, the Sword of Power cannot take a life. I'm like, what? This giant ass sword can't kill anyone? Which, you know, I love a no-kill policy, honestly. I don't believe heroes would need to kill. But on that same note, this giant ass sword can't kill. I'm like, the weight alone, I think, could kill someone. But
There is always a choice, my son.
Have we considered calling Rampage and asking her?
We aren't called.
yeah, I love
Have we
Crass's whole thing,
considered
which
calling Rampage and
I like Crass's whole thing in this season, because she actually, like, I don't know, like, I like her transformation as Rampage. I like the idea that she could, you know, her working with Skeletor, because at least in this sense, because Skeletor as like the talking mental ghost with her is kind of fun. Even like Skeletor becomes like kind of the new sorceress for a minute. And it's actually like it's really freaking cool. Like him interacting with her, saying like, I actually like this kind of team, even though Rampage or Crass isn't having none of it. I also like when she transforms, she changes the line, because she says, with the fury of havoc, I found my power. I'm like, that's a kind of cool line.
asking her?
We aren't calling her that.
I'm my own person! If nothing else, finding some way to get through to Crass might mean learning what Skeletor's endgame is.
Maybe we can undo whatever's been done and bring her.
Yeah, that's where the first whatchamacallit, the first snakes came from. That's where I guess that's the primordial havoc.
Been done and bring her back over to our.
This is like, these crystals are basically the same thing that was in Crass's helmet, dad's helmet. So my guess is, because they kind of not brush it on the rug, but they kind of go like, oh yeah, any of these crystals could have been the one that jammed into her helmet. She is not inherently evil. It's just, you know, the crystal in her helmet can be used to channel havoc or whatnot. Also, I think channel the power. So it's way less like, oh yeah, she's born evil. It's just like, oh, she just so happened to have an item that channeled the evil, I guess.
Our side.
Do you really think it'll be that
God, see, like this scene right here, that's so cool.
easy?
I have to.
That's badass. Like, oh yeah, you kind of saw it there for a second. God, I love, maybe it's only because I like JoJo, but I just, the giant buff ghost of Skeletor being there to tell her stuff is kind of badass. These figures are really cool. I love these. The only issue with it is, like, I think the inside of it's rubber, like, has a rubber band to make him, like, flex and stuff, which, you know, too much movement could mess him up. Yeah, see, there's a Grayskull's body.
Has been hidden from you and I.
Yup. Yeah. Okay, they're trying to showing it.
Every intention of sharing.
Let me see.
No matter how much power you have at your disposal.
Oh, we see Havoc He-Man, which is pretty cool. Which also, I like when he turns Havoc, you kind of see I like one that they kind of give him a He-Man, something like it's an H, but also the M, but also it looks like the sword. And when he turns Havoc, these actually glow. These actually glow here to make it look more like a glowing sword, but also maybe like the fangs of the snake people.
Not everything can be fixed with the flip of a switch.
Being able to call on great
Damn.
power doesn't make you
Oh yeah, Man-at-Arms actually kind of made me like him a lot more in this season. Not saying I didn't hate it, not saying I hated him, but him building like himself an old mech is freaking badass.
make you strong.
Sorcerer is badass. Yeah, Havoc Man.
Does is knowing
See, I'm happy I didn't see this then. They brought Orco back! Like the original... Well, okay, let me rephrase that. They didn't... If I remember correctly, they did not bring the original voice actor of Orco. But they brought him back CGI-wise. That looks almost identical to the animated version of Orco. Like, hold on. Like, they get... Yeah, like this kind of look. Like, even like maybe the eyes are a little bit too big. Like, this gives me very Hanna-Barbera kind of eyes. But even that... Did Hanna-Barbera work on... I don't know. But, yeah, they brought Orco in. I'm like, oh, damn! I'm like, that's cool! And they brought the guy from, oh, man, I forgot his name. But Inconceivable! From Princess Bride, which I loved seeing that. I loved hearing that. I'm like, oh, damn!
knowing when it's time to use
Merman, which I remember back when the 2000X He-Man came out. I actually really liked Merman a lot. Like, he had a cool looking sword. He looked kind of badass. I remember I really, really liked the Merman. I also I like characters who could swim underwater. This one's really cool too. And that's another voice actor too, because he's the... Let me see. Let me see here. Wallace Shawn was the guy who goes Inconceivable, who voices Orco, and then who voices Merman. Is George Takei. George Takei, which you've seen, we're like, oh my. Like, that, he voices him, which, one, the voice is amazing, but two, they snuck in the giant, when he's about to die, he goes, oh my, and died. I'm like, oh shoot. His whole story, too, is really cool, with, like, he's kind of a servant of King Grayskull, even though he's his own king, and, like, he's protecting, like, King Grayskull's tomb, which I'm like, alright, that's pretty cool.
time to use it.
Let me see here. Oh, giant suit, yep. That's a badass fight. That's cool, which also, that's where we find out, which, it kind of gives me Inuyasha vibes a little bit, where both weapons were made by King Grayskull, both the sword and the Havoc Staff, and also in that same note, both weapons kind of have a similar thing to Tensaiga and Tenseiga, where Tensaiga is the super strong blade. It's the weapon that destroys that can kill 100 demons in one swing, while the Tenseiga is the weapon that heals and protects, though who's wielding them is flipped. Where He-Man has the sword that cannot kill, but is only made to protect, even though the Tensaiga is made to protect. Well, because in Inuyasha, you can only wield it to protect others, I guess. But yeah, so like he has a Tensaiga, so I guess it is kind of similar. Anyways, but then, no, because, whatever. The Sword of Power cannot kill, similar to the Tenseiga, the one that Shishomaru, aka Inuyasha's brother, has. Where the Tensaiga can kill, which I guess also bad guys have used the Tensaiga before. But the Tensaiga can kill, and that's what the Havoc Staff pretty much is. That's King Grayskull created the staff to kill things, to kill the Snake Men. That's what the staff is for.
Take a seat. This shows.
This got kind of spoiled for me. I kind of looked away real quick, but like, why did they show him, like, already reborn? Mind you, they don't explain exactly like that, but, like, spoilers, I guess. Go watch it. I loved it. this is the body of King Grayskull, but with the soul of Skeletor, which badass. And also, like, you know, this is the second series where I've seen this, or where Skeletor gains the power in some sense, which he then gets like a super upgraded buff form, which honestly, not bad idea. And honestly, it's cool. Hell, they even not make a nod to the other animated He-Man show at one point where Orco's trying to learn magic and accidentally switches bodies, trying to heal Adam from the Havoc. Which I'm happy they did take at least an episode to like say like, yeah, okay, we need to get a way to get the Havoc out of Adam. Where was I going with that? I can't remember what the hell I was saying. The Orco. When they switch bodies, at one point they changed it, and they changed the art style of all of them to the other animated show, and I'm like, all right, that's kind of funny. Duncan's like, what happened to my melanin?
Show's just getting started.
Oh, you even show that too. Also, one thing I actually do like, and I also didn't notice this at the beginning. You can kind of see it here. You can kind of see it, and this is kind of it too. Like, because I didn't realize until I looked at this and I saw the original Sorceress. It took me a minute, but like they kind of pay homage to the original's color scheme, which I'm like, all right. I believe it's supposed to be based off the season 3 version of Teela, which because even the wings kind of are similar in that note. It's a little different, obviously, but okay, yeah, I actually see it a little bit better. You see it a little bit better. The wings are kind of similar. The more white with the white, blue on top. The wings being like an orangish color. It's a nice live on.
Come on.
Actually, wait a minute.
Masters of the Universe.
Can we get a toy of Teela? Like, they made a toy of Adam. Can they make a toy of Teela in her base form? I love this design so much. I love her sorceress form. I love this form way more. I love this form a lot. It has, like, that cyberpunk ninja, and I love it.
Fear not, Master.
Oh, yeah.
For I have returned.
Hell yeah. Which they do kind of keep that's her spoilers, I guess. They do kind of keep the whole familiar thing with them. Also, the robot horse, which it took me to say, I'm like, oh, right. Because they have the robot horses and He-Man's like, why? And it's like, they explain it's like it's old Eternian tech or some shit. I don't know. But this season was cool. Also, like, you kind of see it here. Which I'll say that spoilers. Again, spoilers. Go watch it. I'm going to spoil something. This is Skeletor with, if I remember correctly, the Havoc Staff here, the Sword of Power here, while using Castle Grayskull as a body. Which, holy hell, is that not a cool-ass idea of using Castle Grayskull and, like, showing, like, what it is? Because if you look at Castle Grayskull, and not these ones, they made, is it the Masterverse? You can kind of see it here. No, you can't. Shit. If you look on the top of Castle Grayskull, there's a spine. There's a spine running down its back. And the reboot does have that as well. The hell? He-Man Master of the Universe, Castle Grayskull, not complete. Yeah, no duh. God, okay, here's the back of it. So, like, that's the crown, the headpiece of Castle Grayskull, which, yeah. Like, that's the front piece, that's the crown bit, and then it has a spine that goes back it. So, I kind of like the idea that it is made of, like, it was made from the bones of an actual living thing, while also being, obviously, built around stone and stuff. But by God, like, is that not cool? Like, the idea of, like, okay, Skeletor becomes the giant thing. I like, becomes Castle Grayskull. I like that. That was pretty cool. Oh yeah, Duncan creating mechs for himself is kind of badass, and it made me more excited for that stuff. Let me see, what other things do I have here? Oh yeah, the Evelyn thing I'll bring up in a second. Skeletor plans to use Grayskull's body and Grayskull Castle. I love Ghost Skeletor, right? Oh yeah, there's this girl that that the bad guys kind of just keep around at one point for Triclops to possess, and she's like, "Well, see you guys next." And I'm like, "What? I'm like, that's a little weird." And I'm like, you just have her there. She's there. Is she there against her will? But eventually, like, Triclops even switches sides, which is pretty badass. I actually like that. Triclops is actually really cool in this reboot. Sword of Power can be used to kill. The Scepter of Havoc can. Rampage and Skeletor relationship is fun. Because those two work off each other really well, honestly. Rampage. Arch while He-Man looks up. Oh yeah, there's a scene where like Rampage is standing on it, like almost like a stone edge looking down at He-Man. He-Man's looking up at her. And it's a really badass scene. Looking at it, like that scene goes hard. Like holy hell. Skeletor showing regret when Randor talks about losing. Oh yeah, there's a cool bit where He-Man hangs out with his two dads, Cringer and King Randor, and I do it's like Randor says I wanted to come with you on this adventure because I wanted to learn more about my son, and Cringer brings up a little bit of Adam's past and all that. That's a cool scene. Those are cool scenes. And let me see here. Let's see here, Skeletor. And also, but at one bit where the Rampage is saying give me, tell me whatever you need. Tell me what I need to know because they're using the snake people to try to find King Grayskull's tomb. Which Randor basically gives it up, and He-Man's like, "Why the hell are you doing that?" And he goes, "Because if you guys fight, you're gonna regret it way more than anything else. You're gonna regret it for for the rest of your life or whatever. Because I know how it feels losing family, and I do like how they straight say, yes, this is a found family, and yes, they are a family. I love that, but the entire Masters of the Universe." And I do like where Randor says, I know how it feels like losing family, and Skeletor kind of just looks sad, oh shit. I like that. It's a moment that no one really looked at, the characters never really look at Skeletor oh yeah, no, he does kind of regret it, and that I like that. Yes, I do love Skeletor being, I want a battle cat for my birthday, but I love that insanity thing, but I do like that little bit of depth right there. It was really nice, honestly. Evelyn. And also, I'm happy I played with, oh yeah, at one point, Skeletor flies like Superman. It's good. Oh, another thing. What was it? At one point where He-Man and Skeletor are fighting, he creates a giant skeletal fist to punch at He-Man, which I like that style of things Skeletor does, because he did the same thing in the OG, or in the Revelations one. He makes a portal to put a fist through it to make the fist giant to punch He-Man. That's kind of funny. Let me see here. Oh, they expand more on Evelyn's thing and the bad guys, so they gain their powers back. But which I kind of like how they did it. They used the snakes to restart the forge, the Havoc Forge, which was kind of cool. But also, they straight up I was watching, and I think I might have brought this up before. When Evelyn uses her ability, it's Bat of Hordak. And I'm Hordak? Wait a minute. And it got kind of spoiled for me, which kind of sucks. But at one point, I played with subtitles. I put subtitles on. I saw it. Okay, it says Hordak. And at one point, she goes, "This when you use Havoc or your transformation, it's supposed to show who you really are. It shows me with bats. I don't even like bats, which the giant bat that Zerfrin's just teardrop and flies away. I'm like, oh, but the Havoc. Sorry, hold on. The Havoc. But then I'm like, okay, it's setting up, and I kind of knew towards the end. One, you kind of see where like He-Man gives the power. He basically gives the power to all of Eternia. What does that mean exactly? I don't know. But also, they kind of did mention the other He-Man series. At least showed them in 2D version and multiverse. And when this season ended, it showed He-Man giving the power to all of Eternia, where you see the lights kind of go around the entire Earth like circuitry. Which I'm kind of hoping this is going to tie into She-Ra a little bit. Because it'd be kind of cool to see She-Ra come back. Because if you don't know, She-Ra is the twin sister to He-Man. And got stuck in a pocket dimension and or world with the Horde. Which you see that circuitry kind of go over the entire planet, except stop at a big dark spot at the bottom of it. Which I can only assume was the Fright Zone, because that's where after, I think Evelyn was going to get killed or something by Skeletor, or the bat grabbed her, took her away, dropped her ass off there, where the giant bat transformed into Hordak, the main bad guy in She-Ra, but also was a bad guy in the original, I don't know if he was a bad guy in the original He-Man show. This is from the 2000X one. Okay, I guess they must have interacted because She-Ra was going on for a while. But yeah, this is the Hordak toy. But you have like 3 different versions of Hordak right here. But but they show Hordak, which Hordak goes, "You shall be the herald of my return." And Evelyn's like, "Why on earth would I do that? Why would I become your servant?" Because now servant equal. You're my daughter. And I'm like, oh, we're okay. I don't know if that one was canon. I don't know if that was canon beforehand, because here's the thing. Like, later on, I think, like, it was basically the Marvel Legends of He-Man figures that they made, until they made the Masterverse ones right now. They made Skeletor, Kaldor, and He-Man's uncle. I don't know if Evelyn was originally supposed to be, and also they did, confirm now, obviously, that the Sorceress is Teela's mom in both versions. Kind of in this one, it's like reincarnation, but I'm gonna go ahead and say mom in this. Actually, I would like a figure of her too. But in this, I'm like, Evelyn as Hordak's daughter. I kind of like it. Like, that's kind of cool. And I honestly, I'm not sure how the timeline would work, or if you could just say alternate timelines or whatever. I would love if She-Ra came back for this. And mind you, I wasn't even the greatest fan of the original She-Ra show. Like, if you watch my reviews of it, they were okay. They were alright. I liked the ending last season, and I liked Catra and Hordak. I liked them. The last season was pretty cool. I liked the stuff that happened in it, but, and I will say even some characters have grown on me since then. But, the Princess Ball. Oh, God. But, why do you go to a Princess Ball in the middle of a war and invite the enemy? Anyways, I would love to see She-Ra come back and see them interact with her brother. They can have, why isn't she in any of the posters? Or the family portraits? Well, she got kidnapped years ago when you were born, or something like that. I don't know if they'll be able to do that, because there's, a whole legal thing with, there was, a whole legal thing and all that stuff, but I hope they do. That'd be kind of badass to see She-Ra come back and see her interact with her brother, and, especially because that would be a really cool dynamic change, too, where Crass is already kind of his sister, alright, Prince Adam's sister in a sense. I just realized I could put them there and they can be seen. But, is already, his sister in a sense. So to then have like She-Ra appear or Princess Adora, and then have that also like, oh, you know, this is my biological sister. I think it would be kind of a cool dynamic. I don't know. It seems kind of badass. I think that'd be kind of a cool idea. But yeah, this season was great. Let me go over my notes real quick to see if there was anything else I want to bring up. Evelyn is connected to the Horde. Poor giant bat, giant Skeletor. I am the. Oh yeah, when He-Man goes or when, I think it was all of them when they transform. Because at the end, like Skeletor, when he becomes the Skeledragon or Gray Skull Dragon, and like he starts absorbing both the power and havoc from everyone, because he's gonna just reshape the universe, like literally. Like it's the same. It's kind of the same thing that. Well, kind of. I think Evelyn was gonna use the power to destroy the universe, but Skeletor was gonna use it to reshape it in his own image, similar to the other one. But let's see, what was it? When the He-Man and them gain their powers back through the power of belief in themselves, they go, "I am the power." And I'm like, that's kind of badass. Oh yeah, once the Castle Grayskull was destroyed, and they all go, "Oh yes, we're gonna fix it up. We're gonna fix it up." Crash sits on the toilet. Which I'm just thinking, like, I guess they found the toilet. I can't remember if they did in the other seasons, but I remember the whole thing with Adam like not knowing where it is. They found it. It's destroyed now, but they found it. I'm like, that's a kind of a fun run. That's a. I'm assuming that it wasn't brought up earlier. That's a funny running gag. Monstroid arms. With the Fury of Havoc, I have the power. King. Oh right. Oh yeah. Does Prince Adam usually fight ghosts? Physical, metaphorical, or actual? Or physical. Good one. Skeletor, New Guardian, Merfolk. Oh yeah, the Merfolk stuff was actually really cool. The robots were really badass, dude. Just an IAC place full of robots. I kind of had a similar idea at some point. So, Triclops and the girl are awesome. Yeah, I actually like the relationship between Triclops and like his host. I actually kind of hope she comes back. Like I thought she was kind of like the Lumpy Space Princess, like that kind of talking. Like, oh my god, but. I think that she worked actually pretty well, especially with Triclops, because she actually kind of protects Triclops at one point when he gets scared. Like, that's kind of cute. Oh yeah, the bad guys built their ship inside Snake Mountain, and they're like, the girl goes, "So how are you gonna get it out?" And they look at her like, "Shut up!" Evelyn's power is literally called Wings of Hordak. Yep. I'll figure it out. How is Evelyn also a messed up mother figure right now? Right, she has a really cool, like, she kind of, like, tells Sorceress, like, you know, you're really going to let that affect, like, she becomes kind of a mother figure to Teela, which was weird, but also I'm like, I'm not against this. This is kind of fun. Like, I kind of like that. And then immediately tries to betray her and kill her. But I like that. That was kind of fun. I like that. It was almost like a motherly thing right there, where Teela got stuck in an illusion by Merman, like telling her all, you know, you're terrible, all this stuff, and then she kind of comes in going like, hold on a minute, I get to torture her, not you. Which it kind of gives me a similar feel. It's not really dad-son related in that one, but like, if you ever seen DC Universe Opening, the online game, there's a point where Batman's about to get killed, and Joker sees this and goes, I'm the only one that gets to kill the bats. And he pulls out a rocket launcher, blows up the dude trying to kill Batman. It's really fun. But another thing, man, it's really good too. They bring back at one point Skeletor's original voice actor. Because when King Grayskull uses Havoc and he goes full Havoc, he becomes, which also the Sorceress killed him. Spoilers. But when he goes this, King Grayskull's voice is literally like the original voice actor. I'm like, oh shit, they got the original. I'm pretty sure that's the original voice actor. So yeah, that's kind of badass. I love hearing that. That is so cool. This show plays a lot of homage to the original series, the new series, or Revelations, and I like what they're doing with it. it's honestly really fun. I'm gonna pre-order this damn figure when it comes out. I'm pre-ordering this damn figure. I want this figure. I'm ordering 2, one to keep in the package and the other one to be out. But yeah, this is freaking great. Again, thanks for watching. This was a fun. This season honestly was really fun. It's probably my favorites. And honestly, I hope God with all the cancellation shit, because I just heard Resident Evil got canceled and that kind of sucks. I actually liked that show. I'm hoping Netflix doesn't screw anything up and they continue with He-Man Revolution, because that one's fun, especially watching with my father because he's a fan of the original one and we enjoyed Revelations. And this one, definitely. I want to see more of this one. I love this from the design and everything. And also, which, funny enough, I remember watching cartoons and they showed like the very simplistic like toys that they have, the action figures. And I kind of like, man, I kind of want figures like that. I feel like this hits that mark for me. Like, it's simplistic enough and it doesn't have to be too detailed, but like, it's still like very pop and like these figures are really cool. If you want some really cool He-Man figures that are like not that expensive, like they honestly aren't that expensive. But these ones are. The Masterverse ones are. They're like $20 per thing. I got same amount. But anyways. But yeah, these are fun. This show is fun. I like this a lot. I'm hoping at some point they come out with the Gray Skull, because I have the original Gray Skull one, or the Origins one at least now. I have Castle Grayskull on the 2000 X one, which I've just had for like 20 something years since it originally came out. I have the Batcave, which I don't know if you can see it. Nope, you can't. Okay. Ow! Like I'm hoping like I have the Batcave. Here, actually, hold on. Because I did a review on it, and maybe when I get my other Castle Grayskulls, I might do another review on it. This baby right here. It's so cool. Yeah, I'm hoping they come out with the Grayskull for this one. Because I feel like, honestly, looking at the design of the Grayskull for this show, it looks extremely simple to be able to make that, like, at least the front half, and then, just have it open, like the original one. But they did make one play set. It's not that big. Maybe I'll do an unboxing of this. I have no idea. 2 ways. Or modes? 2 ways to play. What are the 2 ways to play? Hero mode. Oh, hero mode as in... Like it's Snake Mountain. That's what it's supposed to kind of be. But then also Skeletor is... Like, this is like, you attack with this thing. It's like an attack ability. But then 2 ways to play hero mode. He hits the snake down and Skeletor falls. Or villain mode. Eats Skeletor. It eats He-Man. So, battle the evil guardian. And like, they even have a cool box around it, like the original toys. It's actually really freaking cool. Yeah, I love this a lot. He-Man is like one of the original toys of like, it's made to be a toy, and then we build stuff around it. I feel like the show probably does something a little bit similar to that. Like that's why we have He-Man in his armored suit already, even though that hasn't appeared in the show yet. But we do have Skeletor in his armored suit. They're like, we're going to show that suit, yes, but also like, we're going to do more story stuff with it first. And they do, it seems like. But I don't know. Tell me anything in the comments below. There's watching videos I've done, links from my Facebook subscription around this somewhere. I'd recommend, if you want some cool toys, go check this out. If He-Man wants to, if Mattel or who makes this, Mattel wants to sponsor me, I will do it for money and toys. But thank you for watching with your videos that I've done. Links are on my face, subscription buttons around there. So I'm share videos. Go check this out because I want to see more seasons of this. Again, from the CGI, the animation, it's so damn good. Hell, even the end credit, like, big splash of what the next episode is going to be. It's really damn good. But tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching your videos, and we will see you later. I would love more figures and variations because there are, like, at least figure-wise, there's, like, so many, like, there's, like, He-Man, then there's He-Man. Like, this isn't base He-Man. This is He-Man when he's, like, charged up with, like, his circuitry. And that's really, like, the only difference. Then they have another He-Man. It's the exact same one, but it's all crystal. And then the armored one, I'd say, is different enough with the molding and, like, different weapons. Then this Skeletor is pretty much the same as the other one, but his arm is... This is kind of what the He-Man one is, except gold. except his arm, his green for Havoc, you have some lines painted on, and his Havoc staff is glowing, is like this crystal. The toys are really freaking cool. Like, those are really kind of cool. Also, this is the only one that has Tila's tummy, because the original toy doesn't have that. I don't know why it doesn't, but I don't know. But yeah, these toys are freaking cool. The show is freaking badass. I'm pre-ordering this toy. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say. It's pretty much, they brought kind of Snake Mountain in before Castle Grayskull, which is the opposite for the original toys, or any other toys. So I find it funny, but also like, why? Also, does that mean that entire snake is made of Havoc? I guess so, technically. I hope you enjoyed the Skeletor show. I want a battle cat for my birthday.